Welcome back. Oh my god, I'm excited. Today we are back on Reddit. Not the same subreddit though. I like to switch it up a little bit. I like to switch it up. Today we are going to be on the r slash entitled parents Reddit. I went top this week, top this month, whatever it was, and I just got some that were I off. We're just going straight off titles, and we're just gonna read these, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts. Oh, I'm excited. Let's go. First one of the day. Before we start, though, make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe. First one of the day. Entitled parents demand that my daughter date their son to help his self-esteem. On God, that's crazy. But shit like that used to be happening back in the day all the time on me. Next up. What's next up? I'm going to read this. I'm a little late in posting this as it took place 3 years ago. You're a little late, bitch. Back in 2023. But figured now is a good time as any to write about this. Additionally, ages mentioned here were how old we were back in 2023. 3 years ago, my 38-year-old female eldest daughter, who I'll call Blase Blah, 17 female graduate. Huh? Am I tripping? My 38 female eldest daughter, who I'll call AZ 17 female, graduated from high school. Okay, hold on. I think she's saying that she's 38 and her daughter is 17. She and a couple of her friends decided to do a gap year to go to Taylor Swift's Eras tour. First of all, on God, if my future son or daughter comes to me and says, "Hey, I'm gonna do a gap year," and I'm like, "Oh, you're really thinking about what you want to do?" I'm gonna go travel and I'm gonna go Taylor Swift Eras tour. Taylor Swift Eras tour. This is how I'm gonna be looking at them. You expect me to let you do that? On God, you getting this whooping. On God. Ta- Yo, that just took me out. You took a gap year. You know what? Let's move past it before I tweak out. Now earlier, further back, she was having. Whoa, whoa! I just read autistic. Let's go back. My eldest daughter graduated from high school. A couple of friends decided to do a gap year to go to Taylor's Eras tour and travel across Southern Europe. Now earlier, further back. Now earlier, further back. What the fuck is going on? She can't fucking write, yo, Audrey. You can't type for shit. You suck. Oh, makes sense. I'm fucking around. She was having, now earlier further back, she was having with an autistic boy who I'll call FS. Why are you giving us their initials? Don't call him anything. Just say she was having with an autistic who became obsessed with my daughter, kept trying to ask her out, took photos of her right in front of her, etc. Now, I won't get into this part too much detail as it deserves its own separate post, but long story short, AZ told me that me and my husband Jack, we got the school involved. FS parents one night showed up to our place uninvited. FS has been stalking my daughter. FS parents try to get us to withdraw our complaint, telling us MFS was special and harmless. How our complaint against her son is causing him stress, demanding that my daughter AZ apologize for calling him a creep and a loser. FS dad demanded AZ at least FS a shot as it would help his self-esteem issues, etc. They only left when police showed up and told him to leave. Okay, hold on. From this fucking terrible, I myself am autistic, I believe you. You're fucking terrible at writing. ChatGPT this if you can't fucking type in 2026. God damn, I'm not a ChatGPT advocate or anything like that, but if you can't fucking type or just make a coherent and clear fucking statement or paragraph, oh my god, I was confused. This is what I'm getting from the gist of it. The dude's a creep. He's taking pictures of her and stalking her and doing all this. They made a complaint with the school. The parents went to their house uninvited and complained and said, "Hey, you should at least give him a shot and say apologize for calling him a creep and a loser." And they said, get the fuck out of our house, um, you weirdo." And they only left when the police came. First of all, I don't understand how this happened. I get that the guide's in fact like why is the autistic son, the autistic parents, why are they allowing for that to happen? I don't, I don't, I don't, I don't. I think the mother is writing this of the daughter. Why is the autistic son who's in love with the daughter on this? Why are the parents letting that happen? Somebody like I don't understand that. Like if my son is infatuated with somebody, but that person doesn't like him and also was rude and disturbing to him, I'd be like, yo, let it go. You know, I try to entice them into doing anything. I know it's real hard to get autistic people to do shit. I understand. Especially depends on where they are on the spectrum. Some of them can be very stubborn. I understand. But like you're the parents. You can stop that type of activity. You can stop that type of behavior. You see somebody stalking a girl, that's serial killer behavior. That's not okay in this household at all. I don't give a fuck if you're autistic. Bitch, you better learn. What is Ted Bundy gonna say he was autistic? Come on, bro. Lock in. Um, I myself am autistic, but I do generally recognize boundaries. Fast forward back to August 2023. My daughter was in LA for the Eras tour and was going to be jetting off to Europe in a few weeks. Oh shit. I thought the story was over. From out the blue, FS parents ran into me at Costco parking lot. I don't think they ran into you out the blue and tried talking to me about their son and how he's still into my daughter. How is this our problem? How is this my problem on everything that yo, ooh, people on Reddit, ooh. They told me that FS was still stalking my daughter, and apparently he heard about my daughter's plan to move to California to live with my in-laws and study at Berkeley. They again asked or really demanded that I get my daughter to abandon her plans to move to California as it would hurt. Yo, how? Hold on. Back up real quick. Who the fuck gave you the gall to ask me some shit like this? Like, where do you get the gall and the balls to ask? Just because your son is autistic doesn't mean he's a genie. You can make every wish come true. I don't give a fuck if he's being an annoying piece of shit at the crib. You do not let that affect other. What? They ran into you and then said, "Don't let her go to California because it's gonna ruin their chances." Bitch, you lucky if I don't slap you in the face right now. Don't ever tell me what to do with my daughter, bitch. Fuck you, ho. What are you talking about? Okay, I forgot to. Oh, hold on. That FS didn't have any other friends and how AZ dating would help his self-esteem. I could give two fucks about his self-esteem. His self-esteem is dead ass means literally nothing to me. I forgot to mention that autistic kid did used to be friends with her and her friends years ago when FS moved here to MA. They're originally from Indiana. As FS was a lonely kid, AZ did invite him to hang out with her and her friends, and they were accepting of him until he started being creepy. Oh, okay, I see what happened here. Makes sense to the autistic guy. She was the only person she was the only person who gave him like friendship and was kind to him and all that. So I understand where they're coming from. Anyways, back to the parking lot. If they thought it was asked the parents if they thought it was reasonable for my daughter to give up on her plans to go to college, to which they went completely silent, which her grandparents, my in-laws, were paying for. Why aren't you paying for it, broke bitch? I'm joking. I'm joking. Sorry. FS mom then tried saying AZ could at least spend a couple of days hanging out to get to know him better, suggesting that rather than a formal date, they could do something small like go to church together, which might point out my daughters and I are Jewish, but my husband is Catholic, and I know I admittedly may have aggravated the situation by echoing my daughter, calling their now adult son a creep and a loser. First of all, that's a little uncalled for. Maybe he is a creep and a loser, but maybe don't tell him to that in his face. I don't know. Does it warrant it? These guys are being creeps and losers. Does it warrant? That's the question. Fuck all this other shit. Does the behavior warrant getting called a creep and a loser? I think creep for sure. Loser, I don't think loser because that's just genuine. That's bro. Like he's lonely. I feel like loser is a little harsher. But creep is definitely something he's being. He's being creepy. I was about to get in my car. FS grabbed my blouse, tearing it open, demanding I apologize, accusing me of getting their son expelled in the first place, and I'm being insensitive to this. What does this have to do with me? I don't give a fuck about your son's needs. Oh my god, this shit pissed me off. Oh my god, I'm heated. I could give two shits about your son's needs, bitch. Fuck your son. I don't give a fuck about your son. Ooh, that just pissed me off. Another guy, a bystander who noticed what was going on, asking if I was okay. I shouted at him to call security or something. then shouted some racial slurs. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, bitch. Oh my god, I hated this motherfucker, but now I hate him even more. What's the racial slurs he yelled? Please tell me it wasn't the N-word. I hope to God it wasn't. Oh my God. What? I don't like if this is real, which probably isn't. What gives you the gall to go to somebody else's parents and ask them to date your son's kids? Like, I truly don't understand. How do you get the gall? Like, how do you get the balls to ask somebody else to do something else? Like, I truly, and then grabbing your blouse and tearing that. I wish my I like if I was the wife at this point and the mother, I wish my husband with me. Bitch, bitch, you getting one of these. You getting one of these. Little hook. Maybe with the left. Maybe with the left. Hit you right in the temple, bitch. They ran off when the bystander and his friend started walking over. The bystander asked again if I was okay. Thank for the help, man. I didn't bother telling my husband about the incident at the parking lot. Today, my daughter's in Berkeley, and last I heard, FS was arrested for something, but I don't know what. Yeah, he has terrible fucking parents. Just because you're autistic doesn't mean that you're just a make-a-wish kid who can get everything that they want in life. I don't give a fuck how far you're on the spectrum. You still have to live in a society. You should still be able to understand boundaries. You're not a fucking. This is the parents are in the wrong here. I don't think the autistic kid is in the wrong. I think the parents are in the wrong. You fucked up parents. Ever consider harassment? That's it. I'm not reading the comments. I hate Reddit comments. Next up. This one got me excited. Entitled father gets wet after he harassed me. I don't I don't know where this is gonna go, but I'm interested. This looks to be long. Damn, I picked a lot of long ones. It's gonna be a long video. Let's get to it. Hello, I'm a lifeguard at a very well-known rec. Oh, hello. I'm a long time. I just skipped the whole sentence. Hello, I am a long-time lurker in the sub, and finally got a story to tell about truly insane situation that unfolded at my job. So I am a female, 21 years old. I'm a lifeguard at a very well-known rec center with many locations across America. That doesn't have anything to do with anything. Safe to say, if I said the company, you'd know them. Who gives a fuck? Are you flexing on us that you work at a lifeguard company? Yo, shut your bitch ass up. Maybe fucking YMCA or Lifetime? What you want? Congratulations? Who the fuck cares? We have folks from. Yo, is this an ad for your company? I get you're trying to give some disposition, exposition, whatever it's called. I don't give a fuck. Man, I think I'm being annoying here, but this whole sentence we don't need any of this. We don't need any of this. We don't need any of this. We need lifeguard. We don't need anything else. We don't need anything else out of that sentence. I digress. Let's continue. Generally speaking, we have very few issues with patrons because most of them have been coming. You call your guest patrons crazy because most of them have been coming in for years and know how the place works. Most people are receptive to rule changes and enforcement, but there's always that one parent who will always complain very loudly, but that they think a rule is stupid. Yeah, I'll do that too sometimes. While annoying, it's not big of a deal. What is the big deal is creepy people. Ooh, we must deal with a lot of those. My job, no matter what your gender is, people will flirt with you or make unwanted sexual remarks in your direction. There's a teenage boy who works for me that has middle-aged women call him jailbait. At my first job as a lifeguard at a resort not the same location, I had a man say that I wasn't a lesbian. I just haven't had the right dick yet. That's crazy to say. Yo, that's crazy to say to somebody in person. And my twin braids would be, oh! Yo, that nigga, yo, he from the 80s or 70s. You do not talk like that in this day. Especially if you don't know somebody, you do not talk like that these day and age. At this job now, I've had a few comments made that are unfortunate. I've walked by younger girls back to their cars because I want to make sure they feel safe. Genuinely repulsive behavior. I was guarding a pool, something like that happened last week. I was guarding a pool while swims were going on, and we're closed for our pool for sets, so I'm going to give the kiddos as much space as possible. This happens at every place with a gym, with a swimming pool. I've done this as a kid, and I've seen this as an adult. They have a pool reserved for the kids to do their lessons. This is understandable. and we closed our pool for said swimming lessons to give the kiddos as much place as possible. There's significantly less people, yep, than normal. One of the guards came to relieve me of my stand. I walked to the edge of the pool, scanned the water, stuck my tongue out at the little kids, bent over to pick a toy on the ground. I heard a loud whistle come from one of the parents. Now I'm wearing shorts because it gets really hot even though it's indoors. Nothing inappropriate. When I turned around, I saw the guy about 40 to 50 years old grinning at me like he was smooth. Damn, he whistled. Bro, first of all, if you go whistle, at least don't get caught. Oh my god, don't whistle. But if you go and do it, at least be smart enough to not get caught. Oh my god. He then said, damn, don't be dressing like that in front of the boys. They might get ideas. What the fuck are you talking about? What ideas they gonna get? What are you talking about, yo? This guy's a weirdo. Mind you, the oldest kids here are 80-year-olds. I said, excuse me. You gotta know what I mean. No, I don't. I don't think I do. Your ass is hanging out those shorts in front of kids, sticking your tongue out. You're a bad girl, aren't you? I wish somebody would talk to me like this. Ooh. Ah. This is getting me uncomfortable. Obviously, I'm immediately uncomfortable. I'm within uniform. Why the fuck are you talking to this guy? I don't know. Maybe it's different for women, but if I'm a guy and somebody's talking to me like this, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know what I do. I don't know what I do. It's within uniform protocol, and the swim instructors teaching your children are even wearing less. Well, I'll forgive this behavior if you give me your number. I'm not allowed to take Patriots' number for personal service. I'm sorry. Come on, don't be difficult. Sir, I have to continue to watch the pool. He started getting visibly heated that I'm not accepting his advances. He stands up and approaches me. He was far away from the other parents. Thankfully, we had gotten the attention. Many of them, well, otherwise, what's the real reason you don't want my number? I have a girlfriend, sir. I'm not interested. Girlfriend, you're one of those then? He then tried grabbing my rescue tube and yanked towards him. What the fuck is going on? Thankfully, I had a tight grip on it and pulled it back and stepped out of the way before he fell into the water, dude. I tell you, it was glorious. His shirt puffed up like a muffin. It was hilarious. Someone's JJ. I jumped in at. Oh, he fell into the water? Oh, hold on. Dude, I skip read and I just don't read. Thankfully, I had a tight grip on it and pulled it back towards me. Stumbled forward and I stepped out of the way. He fell into the water. It was glorious. His shirt puffed up like a muffin. It was hilarious. The water wasn't that deep, 3.5 to 4 feet deep, but he was in danger. I jumped in after him, made him grab my tube, and was bright red with embarrassment and anger over the stairs to get out the pool. In the onslaught, he screamed at me that I was a whore, slut, and a bitch. He even called me a flusers just for good reason. He's never going to come here again. His son never finished because of me. I don't remember much. It turned him out. My boss and made me go file a report. He got kicked out, and the mother came to pick up the son from the swim lessons. The mom and the child are actually sweet as can be. So he's flirting with you, and you got a whole wife. And she came to find me and apologize to me for her soon-to-be ex-husband's behavior. She actually sat and talked to me. I don't give a fuck about all this. Damn, that's crazy though. I don't think this is entitled parents at all. This is just sexual harassment. Why is this an entitled parents Reddit post? This is just sexual harassment, right? Stepdad gets what he deserves when he insulted my sister. Basically, my stepdad loves belittling me and my sister, 16 and 19. Today we saw her eating something he called disgusting. It wasn't even that bad of a combo. Potato souffle she made with ketchup. Hold on. Look it up real quick. That doesn't look bad. This with ketchup doesn't look bad, but not something that I would eat. I'm not gonna lie to you. And he knows it helps her down food better with condiments. And plus, only eating meaty foods with ketchup isn't even that weird. I think. Anyway, he took a picture of it to show my mother. It's something that disgusting needs to have picture. So what's wrong? Okay, hold on. So he said that the food is disgusting, and he took a picture of it. My sister got fed up, and she grabbed her phone, put it in, and said, "All right, I'm gonna take a pic of your receding hairline." What? Hold on. We just got two of these shits that were real serious. You're telling me you ate something that he thought was disgusting. He took a picture of it to show your mom, and so your sister got fed up and took a picture of his hairline? What the Yo, you guys are sensitive. You guys are sensitive as a bitch. You can't handle your dad making fun of you? Like, it's just like a little fun. Are you dead ass? He got hair transplant surgery. So, this is what women do all the time. You're here, they go here because their feelings get hurt. What the fuck is this bullshit? This is actually nonsense. Okay, let's continue. For context, he even got his hair transplant surgery and it didn't work. He also has a bunch of hair products that he doesn't hurt. Our stepdad is a complete a-hole in our defense, like genuinely. He's a short, balding loser who talks shit to his kind wife and stepchildren that he despises to feel better about himself. I don't know, like, what are you talking about? You're just calling him a piece of shit because that's your experience. You haven't said anything in this fucking post that made me think he's a piece of shit. My mom is an amazing, dutiful wife, and me and my sister are straight A students and good kids who don't seek out, don't have boyfriends, don't break the rules. Literally anyone that isn't in our weird ass family adores us and calls us perfect children, but no, our stepdad is repelled by confident. What are you talking about? He just said that the food is disgusting. What the? Oh, I'm so confused. Mind you, dude, we help make your food, clean your house, and this is all because of the food. He called potato souffle with ketchup disgusting. Are we joking? This can't be the reason you're putting this on this fucking website. I'm so pissed off. Oh, I don't give a fuck if there's prior shit. You didn't say anything in this post. You're just calling him a piece of shit and he has terrible hairline. That's all you're doing. That's all you're fucking doing. Oh my god. Mind you, we help make your food, clean up the house, and give you your stupid ass soda and water whenever you ask without any complaints. But he still somehow finds the audacity to call us shameful, awful cows and pigs. Okay, hold on. And the insult has kind of worse connotations in our language, mind you. I don't know what that is. The word for shameless is usually used in relation to sluts. So he's calling you slut, awful cows and pigs. Okay, maybe start with that then. Maybe start with that. I don't know if that's true, but maybe start with that. I'm not even getting to the time when my brother was 13 at the time and still taller than our stepdad, defended my mom from my stepdad's temper tantrum and beat up that jerk. Like our stepdad had a broken nose and two black eyes after that. He wore sunglasses for a while. He ended up kicking up our brother out and sent him across the country to live with relatives because of this. He's been moving around a lot over the years to live with different relatives, and even dropped out of high school because, to be honest, he went through a lot. And how is this even possible? Okay, it seems like the stepdad's a piece of shit, but you didn't even fucking clarify that until the last two sentences. Everything before this, it was over a potato souffle with ketchup. This is not an entitled parent. This is a douchebag parent. Where is the entitled parent? There has been one entitled parent, and we've been through 3 fucking Reddit posts. Let's go to the 4th one. If this one's not an entitled parent, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, let's go. We're seated and ready. My parents are trying to take my car and give it to my brother, and now they're controlling every part of my life. This sounds entitled. I am a 21-year-old female, honestly feel like I'm losing my mind. My parents have somehow favored my brother, 17M. He's their only biological kid and it shows. I live with my biological mom and stepdad, and the favoritism has been obvious my whole life. But this situation has pushed me to my breaking point. Last Monday, my car broke down. I called my parents before getting it towed because I hoped it was something simple. It wasn't. My car started smoking while I was driving. I paid $160 for a tow and I had to take it to my dad's buddy's shop. But nobody would tell me what's actually wrong with it. My dad immediately asked how much money I had saved and said I needed a new car. Before the tow, I crawled under my car myself and didn't see anything broken. Suddenly, my dad claimed something is hanging and broken, but refuses to show me. He even joked to his buddy that I destroyed the car. It didn't feel like a joke. The only thing I know for sure is that my rear tires had to be manually unlocked because the parking brake somehow turned on by itself. As soon as we left the shop, my parents started showing me old cars from 2005 to 2010 while I currently drive a 2017 Titanium SK. Hold on. Where is it at? Where did I go? 2017. Oh, it's ugly ass car. Reliable, maybe. I'm not sure. Ford's not reliable. That I worked 2 waitress jobs for 3 years to afford. When I asked about my car, they say they fix it up and give it to my brother. My dad claims he gets to decide because once he put $6,000 toward the car after the government shutdown, and because I get paid to go to school due to his 100% military disability. So suddenly it's his money and his car again. They refuse to put the car in my name. They want me to buy a new one in his name again. Don't do it. My brother has never had a job. He plays video games all day, doesn't help around the house, eats everything, barely passes high school. They can't even trust him to wake up. Okay, hold on. My brother has never had a job. He plays video games all day, doesn't help around the house, eats everything, barely passes high school. They can't even trust him to wake up on time, but somehow he deserves my car more than I do. Since my car broke down, I'm not allowed to walk anywhere in town, not even to the IG or the Dollar General. I feel like I'm being hostage in my own home. What the fuck is going on? I've been depressed about the car, and my mom cornered me in my room demanding to know I was acting depressed. You need to stop being depressed because you're making me depressed. I've been told I'm struggling and their help back then was dyeing my hair. Whoa, hold on. I broke down crying. I've told them I struggle with suicidal thoughts and their help. What is suicidal thought? What's going on here? I finally told her I'm on anxiety meds and I'm trying to get therapy. She says she doesn't know why I'm like this because I have life made. This part hurts the most. My elderly neighbor, who's like a grandma to me, passed away a few days before Mother's Day. Her husband told my parents I was absolutely invited to the funeral, and so were they. My mom decided for me that I wasn't going. It was down the road, but because I don't have a car, I'm not allowed to walk anywhere. There's buses, aren't there? What the fuck is going on? She prioritized my sister's monthly meeting instead, a meeting that isn't even important. My parents are suddenly talking about buying the trailer next door and moving me out there. Maybe even hinting my boyfriend can move too. But I'm not getting my hopes up. It feels like bait to make me drop my guard. I've gone cold and distant. They know, but they don't care. I'm tired of being their maid, their emotional dumping ground, and their after. Are you the oldest daughter? This sounds like you're the oldest daughter. 21 years old? Yeah, yeah, they're treating you like shit. The first one is always the worst one, no offense. My parents are suddenly talking about buying the trailer next door and moving me out there. I've decided to give up the car. If they want to hand it to my brother, fine. I'll get a new one, probably a Rav4 Honda Civic, and I will not pay a dime if my stepdad insists it must be done. I'm just done. I'm done being controlled and guilt tripped and being treated like I don't matter. Also, is this all narcissistic behavior or what? How would y'all explain the situation after reading this? I posted it to AIO, definitely knowing I'm not in a loving home after this roller coaster, but I needed to vent and felt this very entitled like behavior out of my parents. Entitled. Is this entitled? Yes. They're taking away your car and giving it to your brother. They're treating you like you're a child and making you stay at the house and not letting you walk anywhere. But you're 21 years old. You can legally drink. You can shoot guns. You can go to war. You can do gambling. You can literally do anything that's dangerous in this country, other than rent a car. That's the only thing that you can't do. So why are you still listening to your parents? Just because you live under the same roof as them? Uh, don't like. I feel like you should move smart. Just don't talk to them. Like if I'm in this position, right, and my parents are acting like complete douches, they're stealing my car, they're trying to do all this shit. In my mind, I'm moving out. I'm gonna get enough money to get a job, and I'm moving out and I'm taking the bus. I'm taking the bus to work, or I'm getting a bike and I'm biking to work. And I'm going to get a job, and I'm taking a bus. I'm not staying in the house. Get a job and get a good job and try to get an apartment. Try to move in with your boyfriend. Get a friend. Get some roommates. Get some place that's cheap. Get up out of this house because your parents are suffocating you and they're treating you terribly. This is entitled parents. Finally, finally. All right. Last but not least, mother-in-law is threatening to call CPS to take our unborn child. Hello, everyone. This story is entirely second-hand accounts from my wife, who's 25, and her husband, 26. Only have so many details because of my mother-in-law's behavior. How long is this? Goodness gracious. Let's get straight into it. Backstory. My wife and I are still rather newlywed February of this year, but we have been together since November of 2024. November 2024 and they're newlywed. Okay. Since we started dating, I got a very good idea what my now mother-in-law is like. My girlfriend at the time would tell me many stories about how her mother would constantly violate her privacy. She would tell me how her mother would go through and snoop in her room while she is at school as a girl. While she at school as Huh? She would tell me how her mother would go through and snoop in her room while she's at school as a girl. Am I reading this right? Let's skip it. The most egregious example I can recall is going through her journal and criticizing her private thoughts. Okay, that's crazy. She would also go through all her messages she sent on her phone to her friends, beyond violating her privacy. She would fearmonger her by constantly showing her stories about a girl in the local area being killed or some other horrible story. What the hell? I'm sorry, Shub. A lot overprotective is what I'm hearing. Too overprotective. I'm sorry I can't give more details on these stories. I heard about a while ago and it's her life. I don't want to be too specific, but just these stories my wife told me I knew her mother was quite the helicopter parent. Now moving forward a little. My wife moved into my apartment with me. She has the most difficult move of her life moving across the street. Haha. Now, as any couple does, we talk about each other's day when I come home from work. During these talks, my wife would very consistently share very manipulative stories about what her mother had been up to almost every single day, every other day. Her typical strategy is to offer to take my wife out to go either shop or get their nails done, whatever. After she butters her up, she will ask her to do homework for her. My poor wife, pushover as she is usually, would do it, but recently she stood up to her and told her no, she can't do. Wait, her mom's in college? As she's doing her own college work. When my wife refuses, my mother nearly left her over an hour away from home in the city and only didn't because my wife called her dad to tell him what she was doing. That's weird. There are a host of examples, but it typically involves treating her to something, then during or after suggests she does something for her in exchange. What is going on? Now, I never see any of this because this always happens when I'm working. I never see any of this behavior firsthand, but I know she's not lying because when her mom knows I'm home and wants to come over, she will call and ask permission to come over. And when she comes, she doesn't overstep and is pleasant. But when I come home earlier, a mother-in-law thinks I'm out doing something that is the only time she comes unannounced. And I will be doing the dishes when my wife answers the door, and I hear the way she kind of begins to talk to her before she sees me and gets really sweet and then leaves shortly after. Now, all of this is just really shitty behavior that I told my wife since her mom doesn't behave when I'm not around, then she should not open the door for her when I'm not home. Not too crazy. Now for the great news. As the title implies, as of December last year, my wife and I found out we're expecting our first child. We are expecting a boy and are super excited. Unfortunately, she's had a difficult time with the pregnancy. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but essentially there are medical issues and our OB dropping us because she's on insurance now, which he doesn't accept. So we're having an awesome time with that. But during some of the visits, she has had to the during some of the visits she has had to the ER. Can this guy type? Couple of mistakes is throwing me off, bro. It's throwing me off the story. I'm trying. This is getting juicy, but you're throwing me off the story. A couple of During some of the visits, she had to go to the ER or labor and delivery, and I haven't been able to take her since I'm at work. When she needs to go while I'm at work, she's been able to get her mother to take her. Note to you, reader, we'll revisit this later. No, okay. So on top, damn, this shit is long. So on top of all the issues, her mom throughout the pregnancy has been happy. Now, what does a happy grandparent do? They spoil, right? So my wife and I have been grateful to have received gifts from our parents, like a crib for the baby and a swing. Now, revisiting my earlier context, her pattern is buy things for my wife, seemingly generously and without expectation, right? And guess where this is going? Mother-in-law is buying stuff and bringing it to our apartment while I'm at work, and my wife and her will be talking, and mother-in-law will be calm about the baby, but she will refer to our son as my baby. Now, my wife instantly caught on to this and said, no, not your baby, it's my baby. Mother-in-law will try back and say, right, our baby. Mother-in-law will make another comment about the baby being hers. My wife corrected her again, except this time I said, well, I buy the baby stuff, which kind of makes it my baby. Yo, too overprotective, too trying to I see the type of behavior this is. I see the behavior. This is concerning. This is very entitled. Now, reader, guess what, reader? Her mother works at the fucking hospital. Her mother, who as a child would go through her general phone, who is a helicopter parent. She also, throughout my wife's life, has looked at her medical records since she worked at the hospital, even before turning 18. This woman who like the Eye of Sauron. Oh, I finally caught that reference. Oh my God, I'm a Lord of the Rings guy. Oh my God, I'm a Lord of the Rings guy. I caught the reference. I caught the reference. I caught the reference like I'm fucking Odell Beckham Jr. It's not even that crazy a reference. But catching references has to be top five feelings in the world. Let's take a side note real quick. If somebody throws you a reference and you catch it, top five. On me? On me. What can I say? Um, The Eye of Sauron hovers over every detail of my wife's pregnancy. Knows she works where my wife will likely give birth and has made comments on influencing the care she receives when the time comes that she gives birth. And now she has made comments alluding to our child being her baby. Now here we are today, where it happens again. She made a comment about our kid being hers. She responded, it'd be a shame if one day you're asleep and the baby's crying. He probably missed a meal and he's super hungry. CPS could get involved and then it'll be my baby. What the fuck? This activated Mama Bear, my wife, who promptly kicked her out. Now today I've heard this very concerning story on top of every other concerning behavior my mother-in-law exhibits. We are worried. Now we will vehemently fight to protect our child. But since this isn't my mom, I don't know what we should do. Honestly, it's hard to even be concerned about this when we're dealing with even getting a doctor again, seeing as now we have no OB anymore at 28 weeks and high risk. So much is going on, and I don't know if maybe my wife and I are both paranoid of her, or maybe we are seeing into things. But I don't know. There's so much going on in life, and I can't personally attest to any of the story. Just everything else was just exhausting. I don't really know how to end this. Goodness gracious, this is an entitled parent. I don't know what's wrong with her, but from young she's been treating her daughter terribly. Yeah, this is crazy work. This is crazy work. First of all, grandparents do say my baby when they're talking about grandchildren. They do that. But to be like, I pay for stuff so it's my baby? I don't know about that. That's a little bit weird, yo. That's a little bit off kilter. That's a little bit off kilter. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all, not one bit. But yeah, this is interesting. I really enjoyed this video. Probably not gonna do r/entitled parents. This shit is way too long. But we will be back on the Reddit soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers. Do it!